today we are talking about support systems and the art of not doing life alone. I think this is lucky episode number 13. Welcome back to your emotional support podcast. I'm your host, Noelle Rizzio, and today we are talking about support systems, why they matter, how to tell who's lifting you up, and how to build a circle that loves you into growth. So we're also going to break down why it's not selfish to walk away from people who drain your self-worth. All right, so let's get into it. Why does your support system matter? I hope that this is not a new topic for any of you and that you understand how important it is for you to have a support system. But there are those of us, myself included, that find it hard to reach out and ask for help when I need it, and have a tendency to be hyper independent and feel like I have to do everything on my own, which is not healthy all the time, and I'm here to admit that. It's so important to have those people who really lift you up, and if you were listening last week, you know about that emotional bubble wrap. It's important to have those people who help us build that bubble wrap and support us and help keep us from breaking. So, humans are wired for connection, but the quality of that connection matters more than the quantity. Okay? So quality, that connectedness, the emotional powerhouse of those connections matter more than the number of people that you have like unintimate connections with. Like, I think about this person that I knew in grad school, and she was a collector of acquaintances. And she knew a ton of people from all over the country, everywhere. And I just thought that was so cool. And I was a little envious of her because she just knew all these people everywhere. But what I really got to find out was that she didn't have like intimate quality relationships with any of these people. They were all acquaintances. They were all people that knew her and thought she was great and fun and she could party with the best of them, but she didn't have those like really great quality connections. And that's what we're talking about. That is more important than having a million friends all over, okay? Your support system helps shape your mental health, your self-worth, and even your willingness to take risks, because you know that those people are going to be there for you no matter what. When you feel safe and supported, you show up differently in the world, right? You're able to take those risks. You're able to look at the world as a safe place instead of a scary place. If you're trying to grow yourself in toxic soil, your roots won't thrive, right? You have to surround yourself and build up that positivity and that support. So how do you tell if someone is truly supportive? This can be tricky. People are hard to read. And I know that a lot of people take a real hit to their self-esteem and their confidence and their self-worth when they feel like they've read people wrong. But it's not your fault if someone is airing a presence that is false, okay? But let's talk about how we tell if someone is truly supportive. Ask yourself, do they celebrate your wins or are they trying to compete with them? There's a big difference there. Usually that one's pretty easy to spot. If they're celebrating you and they're truly happy for you, or if they are trying to compete with what you've got going on. Do you feel more yourself after being around them, or do you feel more drained? There are definitely people who, when I'm around them, I'm exhausted afterwards emotionally because it's hard. I can't be myself completely because they don't make me feel safe to be myself. And so I don't necessarily like change who I am, but I'm just not like outwardly as myself as I would be with my people, you know? And so, these are people sometimes you don't have a choice in being around. They might be people in your family or something like that, or people at work, right? And that you have to engage with, but you don't feel comfortable being your true, honest, authentic self. Okay, those aren't your people. Go find other people. Your people are people that you feel more like yourself after you've been around them. Like you feel grateful for having spent that time with them because you got to really express who you authentically are. Obviously, people who truly support you are going to respect your boundaries and your needs. If anyone is challenging your boundaries and you prevent them from doing that and they are not okay with that, they are not your people. They are not truly supportive of who you are and what you have going on. If someone is truly supportive of you, then you can be vulnerable without fear of judgment. And that is the key takeaway here. These are your best people. These are people who you can be absolutely everything that you are and anything that you are, and be your absolute 100% authentic self, and they are not going to judge you. These are my girls at work that I'm so sad that in a couple weeks I'm going to be leaving them. But these are the people that I can say anything to. We talk about poop. We talk about disgusting things. We talk about crazy, weird, wild things. But I've never, ever felt judgment from them. Those are my people. And those are the people that I'm going to continue to go to, even though I won't be seeing them every single day, which is going to make me real sad. But we'll talk about that when the time comes. So watch out for subtle criticism that's masked as help. Right? Those people who kind of act like they're doing something to help or give you feedback that isn't necessarily constructive feedback. It's more just like them judging you quietly or criticizing you a little bit. Watch out for those. They can be sneaky. Relationships that only work when you're small or struggling, those are not your supportive people. People who ghost you when you start growing, don't try to reach out and try to chase those people. They're not your people. It's easy to, because sometimes those are the people that we really feel like we have a connection with, and then all of a sudden, poof, they're gone. When we start to kind of show our growth and show our worth, then suddenly they're not there. And we feel like maybe we did something, and so we feel like we need to chase them. Do not chase them. They left on their own free will because they are threatened or challenged by your growth and your worth. Let them go. Okay, so how do we build or rebuild a support system? Start with what you need. What do you need? Only you can ask yourself that. It might start out with something like emotional safety, encouragement, accountability, just unconditional support. Okay, whatever. You have to kind of make a list of what you need, and then you have to stick to it. And then be the kind of support that you want to attract, right? This is so important. You have to give to others what you want to receive. If you want kindness, you have to be kind. If you want empathy, you have to be empathic. If you want that hype energy, then you have to be that hype energy for somebody else. What you give, you get back. I 100% believe in karma. Let go of guilt when you're releasing those draining relationships, when you're not chasing those ghosters, when you're not reciprocating to those people who aren't respecting your boundaries. Don't feel guilty. That is not selfish. That is you protecting your emotional bubble wrap, protecting your sense of self-worth. And then saying yes to aligned spaces, joining a group, going to events or other things with like-minded people, even online or in person. There are people out there. Search the internet or whatever. Find people who align with what your values are. They are out there. They might not live next door to you. I can guarantee you they don't live next door to me, but they are there. Okay, build slowly and intentionally. Quality over urgency. Okay, you might not go out and find 10 people tomorrow that are going to support you unconditionally and, are aligned with all of your values. But if you're looking for them and you are being the kind of person you want to find, they will find you. They will happen into your life, okay? It doesn't have to be an urgent thing. Find one and then sit with that one person for a while. And then maybe the two of you together can find more, okay? This is quality, not quantity. You don't need to earn love or shrink to keep it. Real connection sees you and stays, okay? They will find you and they will be there for you, just like you will be there for them. All right, to wrap up, you deserve to be around people who remind you of your worth, not make you question it. Your challenge for this week is identify one person in your life who lifts you up. Text them and thank them. Appreciate them. We don't say enough how we appreciate our people. And I think that that's something that we need to change. Also, reflect on one relationship that might need boundaries or reevaluation. And just think about that for a little while. You don't have to do anything about it, but just at least start thinking about it. And then write out your dream support team traits. Okay, write out what you want in your dream team. Who are your people? What do you want them to show you? And then become someone who matches that. Because again, when you show up like that, you're going to draw people in just like that. So today's reminder you didn't ask for but definitely need, you're not too much. You've just been in rooms that weren't big enough for your light. So go find those rooms that are big enough for your light. I am so glad you're here.